Welcome back to Mörk Bronze. You are all surrounded by sacred, viscous black substance, tar, used to douse the miasma of evil, at least in theory. The smell is not comforting to you. It gurgles and bubbles around you as you stand on this small, bare patch of land, just a few feet away from the opening of a crumbling chapel. Its stone, yellow from years of acidic rain. Its window panes cracked, broken, overgrown with the scum of the forest. It looks, in many ways, like a drowned bride. You know that at one point, people may have found comfort at its threshold. But for you, it holds the promise of something much more sinister. Welcome back.
So cool.
Love it.
Welcome back, Tanya, playing Raven. Luis Carazo, playing Phoba. And Xander Jeanneret, playing Grin. For another game of Mörk.
Mörk Bronze.
We have been playing on the wonderful Play Roll app. You can play this on your computer. You can play it on all kinds of compatible mobile devices. Really, you could truly play it on anything, tablets, and it's an uncompromised mobile play experience. So all of the great features you can have on desktop, you can also have on the go. I'm using the desktop version today, but we tested out the phone app earlier, and it works fantastic as well. Yeah. We're hosting all of our audio and video through this as well, and we've been using it for our dice. It's been kind of seamless for everything. And we even created, I created a unique little note-taking app for you using the app's custom
That's
sheets.
great.
How have you been finding it so far?
I
love it.
love having one space for all of it and that we can each edit it as well. I mean, this is something that you had made, but it seemed like it was easy to create.
Yeah.
It was just a few short clicks and easy to use. It looks like I've been seeing that you've all been adding to it. Very nice. I love it. I also love that the categories are collapsible.
Yeah. And the rook, the note was feed silver, get omens. So we may need to consider that in the future.
Yeah.
It's a great note. Fantastic note. Yes. You are looking at this ruined chapel when it seems so you hear a grinding on the stone. And then the stone itself seems to come alive ahead of you. You see something that you've only seen in your darkest dreams, Phoba. A grotesque. Made of living stone, creatures that once protected old buildings. This gargoyle-esque creature comes lumbering off the steps of the old chapel, its stone wings cracking and twitching as it lumbers towards you.
Oh, no.
Roll for initiative.
Yeek.
Oh boy.
So in this case, Phoba would be rolling for the group initiative.
Mm-hmm.
And then we still roll 2d6 for our individual.
Yes, plus or your agility plus a d6.
And I'm just rolling agility, right?
You're rolling a plain d6 to determine which order your group goes in, and then your individual. Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so D6 for the group.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we are not going first. That is
A
a
one.
1.
The enemy is moving first.
And then our agility for our order.
Your agility plus a d6 for your individual turn order.
3.
3.
Well,
Put the. No. Hold on. It's
Oh,
really easy to use.
that's right.
I swear. It's just +1. Add buff.
Right. That's it.
1.
Okay.
5.
This would be 6 because I have a +1 to agility.
Okay. So it will be the grotesque, and then Grin, and then Phoba, and then Raven. The creature moves first.
Hatmit is with us, right?
Yes, Hatmet is with you. You're right. And then we also need to roll for their initiative.
So I have Invictus. Demas.
Yes. And I'm still on Demas.
I figured Invictus would go with me, but
Hmm.
it'll be amusing if Invictus has better initiative. Like, the dog goes first.
Right.
So they're also at a 5. Would you like to? I'll leave it up to you, Phoba. Would you like to go before or after Hapshet?
I would Hatmit.
Hapshet is a character from a Warhammer book. My apologies, chat. I'm going to say it a lot.
I'll go. I have an idea, so I have. I'll go first to see if it works, and Hatmit can learn more about what to do based on
Okay.
what I do.
I had a question and then it left me.
We'll return.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I was wondering how, if you both get the same initiative number, how do you decide who goes first? Or is it narrative?
I just have the players decide who would like to go first. Yeah.
Nice.
That's just my homebrew rule though.
Sure.
Oh, no,
There's an
but that's a
official
good
rule.
rule, though.
It's a fair
Yeah.
rule.
To me, I'm like, I view it as like, oh, you're both moving at the same speed and you maybe look at each other and are like, let someone go ahead, and
Yeah.
go first. Because
No,
rounds of combat happen so quickly that,
Yes.
yeah.
No, that's
Okay.
a great rule. I just wondered if there was anything in the mechanics of what we're playing.
Yeah. Oops. The creature moves its head up. Its bald stone visage looking at you, gaunt. And then the eyes begin to come alight. A 4. This time, as the gaze washes over you all, bathing you in a sick red light, nothing happens. But it still lumbers forward and then tries to slash out at you, Grin, standing closest to the front.
I also don't have my armor on.
Oh, you're right.
Ooh.
Give me an agility roll.
Okay. I have no penalty, and the DR goes down 2 for agility.
So it'll just be a 10.
Sweet. Roll. Yeah, 11.
Ooh.
You just barely duck underneath as its sinewy, stony arm, made almost of chapel stone itself, swings over your head and lands with a large thump in the muddy ground, spraying flecks of hot tar around you.
Oh.
Who's next? I believe it's you, Phoba.
Yeah, I think so. So, does this gargoyle, the stone creature, have any of the tar on its?
Yes, on its hand.
on its hand. All right, well, I'm just going to follow through with this guess. I'm going to take an arrow, and I'm going to bend down and coat it with the tar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to loose it onto the gargoyle, thinking hopefully this tar, if it's meant to ward off of evil, I want to see how this gargoyle responds to it.
Yeah. You dip the tar, or dip your arrow in the tar, knock it in your bow, and let it loose. Roll your presence, since you're using a ranged attack.
Okay.
You need to beat a 12.
Okay. And... Oh, a 3. I would like to use an omen to reroll that.
Yeah. As you are about to let loose the arrow, you feel it somewhere on the back of your neck. Your aim is off. You feel a rune crack in your pocket, and suddenly you're able to steady yourself. Take a deep breath and steady your aim. Roll again.
All right. No, a 6. I'll let that stand.
The arrow flies through the air. As the creature's red eyes bathe you in blood red light, it almost, for a moment, makes your vision blur, causing the arrow to fly wide.
Oh. That's 2 arrows down. Yikes.
Seeing your methods. Let me see for a moment here.
Very cool idea, though.
Trying.
Okay. Seeing your method of dipping your arrow in the tar, Hapment thinks to herself for a moment. She doesn't believe in the holy rituals of Unguent and is not sure if this will serve her, but instead reaches into her pouch, coating her mace with the wicked barbs on it in ash, and then bravely striding forth, strikes out at this grotesque gargoyle creature. She's going to roll a d20 plus 2. She's moving into melee range. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
We like that roll. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. A 16. And then that is a... It's not bad. You see the mace come down and crack the creature right in the middle of its head. You see a crack begin to form, and you see the ash almost as though you're not sure if imbuing the mace with power or rather imbuing Hapment with power ring out. The sound echoes through the trees around you, and she strikes a grievous blow to this foul creature, who reels but is still alive.
Ooh.
Raven.
Quick question before I try this.
Mm-hmm.
Because out of the things that we found before setting out, I found a loot.
Yes.
Can I choose who has to swap scores for presence and strength, or is it random?
No, you get to choose.
So I will stay back and use the loot of the acute brute. It makes the strength and presence score of anyone hearing it swap scores for the next D6 days. So I'm going to try to force it to swap scores with me because I'm a small thing. Because my strength is my strength isn't bad, but I'm sure it's stronger than me. I'm sure it has a higher presence. So I'm going to use my loot. Would that be a presence roll or a strength roll?
This one, since you're so when strummed, the sound of this axe-shaped D8 damage instrument makes the strength and presence score of anyone hearing it swap scores. I feel like this swaps its strength and presence, so its presence rating will become a strength rating, which in this case, let me think here. So the loot of the acute brute, when strummed, can allow you to swap your presence and strength scores to become stronger, or in some people's cases, the opposite. Have them become weaker in return for getting a little bit more presence.
In that case, I would like to see if I can use a presence roll to confuse or maybe even get this creature on our side.
You do have a class specialty that allows you to temporarily unsettle foes and gain advantages on morale checks. We'll also say this: the grievous blow that was dealt by Hapment has struck enough that this creature is almost faltering, but not quite enough to break its morale yet.
Okay, so that would be a D20 and add a D6 if I use my daily power. And if it is presence, I will add a 3 after I roll. Nat 20.
Whoa.
That is a nat 20. That's perfect. Okay.
So 24 total.
Yes.
Nice.
So,
Damn.
yeah, interesting. Okay. All right. This is what happens with a nat 20. What does it look like when you attempt to bring this creature to your side? How do you attempt to kind of calm it down?
Raven kind of stands a bit taller, actually lets herself be seen for once, pulls back the hood, and raises her arms almost in supplication, and raises her voice in this kind of beseeching manner, asking the creature to hear her plea and to join our righteous cause. And it's a not dirge, but more of a she's putting what little bit of her soul is left into this moment.
As Raven prostrates herself in front of this entity in this way, you see it moved. This ancient being almost recalling back to the songs sang by people in this chapel in the aeons past. It harkens back to a different time. The crack still almost cleanly cleaving its head in two. It gently lumbers backwards and matches your pose.
I lift my head, still singing, and almost I don't know if it can verbalize, but I ask it to allow us to pass or to join our fight, depending on what we find.
It pushes aside some of this boiling black tar standing between you and the steps of the chapel with its large stone body. Its arms kind of melting away a bit as it does so, caking it in a way. leaving a path behind you safe. It then reassumes a pose like a statue on one side of the stairs, its arms now caked in tar, and becomes still once again, leaving the entrance to the chapel vacant for you.
And I give it a gesture of thanks as we pass by.
I have a question.
Mm.
Is what I just witnessed utterly unusual? Like, I mean, what I just saw was probably, I think, one of the most spiritual things I have seen yet as technically a
Music.
priest.
Yeah.
Is what I just saw the bard do atypical of something that I've seen before, or is this
No.
This is what they do?
This is something primal. This is not something you've seen a bard do.
So this is new to
This
my
is
eyes.
new. Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna. Well, what is Raven doing right now?
I'm kind of recombobulating myself. Now that we have a clear path, I've put Invictus down, and I'm kind of like back to my smaller, withdrawn self, but my eyes are still bright. Nothing has dimmed that soul or the music in my spirit.
I'm gonna approach Raven as I see you start to shrink back from this presence that you just had. You see me appear right in front of you, looking right into your eyes, and I reach out and with the back of my hand kind of touch your cheek and your forehead.
What are you doing?
What is it that you just did? I've never seen this before.
I use the power of song and music in the most primal, I guess, ways that we know.
Is this normal for your practice? Is this something you've done before?
Not in many, many years, no.
You also knelt down in a religious, spiritual manner. Is that normal for you?
What is music but a natural and ancient way to worship?
Some say singing is praying twice.
I don't have words for what I just saw.
And I actually repeat his gesture like this, but on the opposite side. You know the old ways, older than both of us. You shouldn't be surprised.
I shouldn't be, I suppose. I just did not know that that someone could tap into that, as I just saw, in the way you did.
I did tell you that I traded a great deal for what I can do. If you were willing to pay such a price, I could introduce you to my patron once we're done with all this.
Your patron is older than the worship of this basilisk.
And she just taps her nose and gives him a smile.
Perhaps a bargain can be made.
Or in exchange as friends.
Absolutely. And hold your eyes for a moment longer, searching for the light that I think I am now fully aware of. This light in your eyes I thought was naive at first. But now I see it as something quite different.
Oh. Naive is not a word I've known in many, many years, my friend.
I nod, and I will step away and approach the gargoyle.
Mm-hmm.
And with the sand, any like kind of loose gravel or sand or anything that's nearby, I create these symbols that are similar at the base of the statue, similar to what people have seen me do before with Hapnet.
As you make these symbols, roll a roll a D100.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh dear.
There
Anything could happen.
52.
No, if that's good or bad.
I don't know either.
52.
Oh dear.
Yeah. You almost as though knowing your very nature. This is on this loot table, if you can believe
Oh,
it.
nice.
Wow.
It's so perfect for you. The gargoyle, this grotesque creature, commonly referred to as a grotesque, opens its hand. Its extremities still smoking from the hot tar, being almost buffeted alive by these magics that seek to exorcise it. In its large blackened palm, you see a small vial. You recognize it as poison.
It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I will take it. Does it look like the poison I already have?
This one is a different one. Poison you have deals almost like a damage and ravages the body in a physical way. This one greatly weakens an opponent when administered.
I will take it. And
Once again, old, profane magic.
I see. Profane, but depends on who's looking at it.
As there's like a tender moment between the two of them, and then there's this ceremony, there's almost a smash cut to Grin, who is digging in the tar at the remains that we had seen before, taking advantage of being armorless for the moment and sort of dodging hot tar spills.
Oh
Looking
my
for
gosh.
stuff.
Give me 2 rolls. Give me 1 agility to determine how well you avoid this hot tar.
I get a -2 to the difficulty.
Bringing it down to a 10.
Well, still a 9.
Oui.
Well,
Yeah.
Help.
Yeah. Your hands burn a bit, bringing you down to 1 hit point, I believe.
Because I
Since you
took
only-
3 points.
Oh, I thought you only had 2. That was, you know what, my mistake. That was
I have
Raven.
4 hit points.
You have 4
Yeah.
hit points. Yes, you take 1 hit point of damage. My bad.
I was
Yes.
gonna say, wow.
Yeah.
Take 1, bringing you down to 3. You
I
all
think that's
see
okay. I don't need to roll an omen for that.
Grin's flesh kind of get red and raw as occasionally little splatters of hot tar kind of buffet against him. Now, your gambit is not without its own treasures. You obtain a small and strange occult relic. A small dagger with a vial on the end of it.
Like on the hilt.
Mm-hmm. You get the sense that this heals you as it harms your target.
Wow.
Every time you lance a target, you may steal its health and its vitae to the equivalent of D3 health.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot
Unsuccessful
in this
hit.
game.
Yeah.
As you pull it out, Hapmet gently puts an armored hand on your shoulder. You have to be wary of such things.
Oh, this is a gift. I'm chosen.
If you feed from occult relics like that too often, you may find yourself dependent on them.
Lead to me accomplishing my goals. Whatever husk is left afterwards is not my concern.
If this is your wish.
And then I'll put my armor on.
This time, your armor is reduced in quality 1 tier,
So it goes from
having
heavy-
been taken apart, yes, to be used for Deimos' feet. You now wear medium armor.
Hmm?
That reduces your damage taken by 1d4
Okay.
and only increases your difficulty rating on agility tests by 2.
Sweet.
It's a little worse for the wear. The joints are weaker this time as you hastily kind of push the rings back together, the adjoining rings, with your bare hands instead of with blacksmith's tools.
So now that agility penalty, it matches my -2.
Yes, you're breaking
it-
even.
Breaks even.
hmm As you see Grin take this strange dagger, the tip of which looks like a spider's mandible, with this bulbous glass on the end that seems to draw blood into it for its bearer, a truly wicked, foul-looking relic. You stand now on the threshold of the old chapel and hear murmurs from within.
What's our order?
Hmm.
Are we
sorry.
all are we all there? Like, are we lined up, or are we just kind of all at the door? At the
I
same
assume you're
place?
like kind of all like
Clumped.
loosely there, yeah. Like Phoba is by the grotesque statue that is now still Hapment trailed behind with Deimos and was kind of observing Grin's grim work. And Raven along with Invictus might be, patrolling the area nearby.
Okay. Do you hear that?
I do. I can't make much of it yet. I must get closer to hear a little better.
Shall we?
Mm-hmm. I want to try to stealthily approach, and I am going to instruct Deimos to wait for us outside. I'm not going to bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
It's safer out here, I think, with the gargoyle nearby.
True, you do have a friendly to you gargoyle now.
I'm gonna put that in the shared notes.
The grotesque does not seem to be, unfriendly towards your mount. The face is almost placid and expressionless as you tie up Deimos on the stairs on this like scraped away mud path that this massive stone creature has created for you. You now have a safe place to leave him, to maybe even like lay down and rest.
Great, I will do that. To my knowledge, with the poisons that I have, I want to coat 2 arrows.
Mm-hmm.
How much does one vial coat, and does it last more than a few moments?
It lasts until you use it.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Then I want to take 2 arrows and coat them with the poison that I already had.
Okay.
I don't know how much of that 1 vial is used up with that.
I believe you have 4 doses in your vial.
Yes, I have.
Dose.
Yeah. So you
Cool.
can easily coat two
Two arrows.
two arrows.
And that leaves me with 2 doses of the red poison.
Yes.
Got it. So I have 2 poison arrows. I have 2 doses of that poison remaining. And I have this other extra poison available to me still.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So I'll approach if everyone else is approaching, as Raven and I were just talking.
Yeah.
As you
lead up.
stand on the threshold of this old chapel, you hear the murmur from within grow louder. Give me a D6 roll. Any one of you who feels so bold.
Ha ha ha.
Sure, why not?
Why not? Oh, I was gonna ask, does this dagger have a specific name? It seems like it might.
Yes, it is called the Vampiric Phoba. Phurba.
Amazing.
Oh.
And it does D4 damage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like a normal knife, except it just allows you to heal D3.
Copy.
That is a 5 for me.
A
And are
5.
we each rolling, or is that a group? Is that for the group?
Huh?
Are we each rolling a d6, or is that one roll for the group?
That's one roll for the book, for the group, sorry.
Got it.
Yeah.
Hopefully I did good.
Seems pretty good.
You hear the murmur rise up a little louder, a little louder, a little louder. It feels like the stone of the cathedral threatens to crumble, in fact. And you hear a chorus of voices rise up. Doubt is crowned. The loyal shall turn their blades on those who silver gave. And you feel something in the air around you shift. Damned shall be the wicked. The roots of the old tree may grow deep, but fire burns deeper still. The foul shall be cleansed. The wolves not in service of the sheep dispensed. Only the chosen may find the sweet release of death. Only the fortunate souls may find the plains of peace. The rest will be damned to suffer for an eternity.
This chant, is it something we've heard before from the religious people where we're from?
The first part you have heard before. Prophecies. Dreaded prophecies. Warnings of what happens when fools are made kings and supplicants without thought or reflection give blindly.
But then it goes on into something else that is unfamiliar.
Yes.
I'll turn to Raven.
Mm.
You seem to know the songs of the old. This chant, does it mean anything to you? Is it of the old ways?
Yes. They're trying to summon or submit to something that's maybe even older than the basilisk that the king seeks.
Maybe we have an interest. The foul shall be cleansed, the wolves not in service of the sheep dispensed.
But how do we know they won't simply turn on us and make us a sacrifice?
Well, only the chosen may
You see me look at you, Raven, with wide eyes at the mention of that.
And I reach over and I mirror the gesture I did earlier. Do you fear death?
I do not. I'm curious about who the chosen is.
Well, if we die, we'll know, won't we?
After you, then.
After Grin, who just picked up that rather interesting dagger. I saw it. I don't begrudge you your treasure. I just hope you are able to still fight.
No more than ever.
I mostly wish that those chanting in there were out here to witness what you just did with the gargoyle. You rendered their guardian useless.
Well, if my voice can pull off a miracle twice in one day, we'll find out.
That is what I hope to see.
Truly wish to be blessed, don't you?
I don't wish to be blessed. I wish to be in the presence of someone who is chosen.
Well, let's see what they're talking about in there, shall we?
Yeah. I kind of hang back for a second and then put my attention forward.
The person with 2 hit points is not going first.
No.
I'll go first. Grin is all forward, fully armored up and looking to see the source of this.
And I pull my hat down over my ears, and that gives me a stealth. You start to see me kind of fade out of existence a little bit more. I will be right behind you.
You step into the Church of Night. The steps are crumbling. They are recessed a bit into the floor, and you have a hard time passing through the collapsed arc of the church. You realize soon the ceiling is gone, the floor is rotted away, and instead gives way to more crumbling steps leading downwards.
Does it seem like there's like the building continues over like a pit? Or is it all just down?
Yeah. It seems like there is like a small, what used to be church room that extends beyond this pit. But as you're gazing into the night church, the midnight church often as it's called, you notice in the walls around you, punctured through the stone intentionally, small star-shaped holes to bring in starlight. And realize that the space below you is far more cavernous, as it is a mausoleum, a carnal grave. As you look down the steps, Grin, you see hallowed skulls stacked carefully along the walls as a sort of stomach unsettling resting place for countless bodies, their bones coated in sacred oils and laid here to rest.
Catacombs. Well, we could either try to pass over this and keep going or investigate further.
The voices, are they coming from down here?
I doubt we'll find any edible meat down there.
You're right. But these Ritual that is happening is very curious to me.
We should investigate.
I'm almost as if compelled. I'm starting to move forward towards the sound of that chanting.
Mm-hmm. The chanting is almost dying down now. Their prophecy completed. The bones no longer reverberating with the voices in unison. And you step down into the catacombs. And you see this.
Whoa!
A map.
A map.
What is this? Where are we?
There we go. If you click on the arrangement of cameras in the bottom, you can actually see the map and see the cameras if you so wish.
Ooh.
Yes. Yes, this is what you see. This is what you witness. And along with this cute little custom token I made, let me see if I can do it on the other. Dun, dun, dun. Let me put it here.
Well,
Does that work? Did I do my... Here we go. Tokens. Here we are. This one. And then we just drag and drop that here.
Oh,
Make
it's
it
neat.
bigger.
that is us.
it's
That
you.
is you.
You.
Yes.
Me?
We're going to zoom in on this just a little bit so we can see a little bit better. Oh, that's the minus sign.
Whoops.
The opposite of the zooming I want to do. Okay. So that is you in the very first chamber as the steps lead you down.
Wow.
Ooh.
Is the chanting coming more from from the way that we're facing, like down toward that kind of octagon, or to the right with like
More
the L
chambers.
shapes? Yeah.
The chanting is almost a murmur now and very difficult to pick up. Give me a presence roll to see if you can try to discern which direction it's in.
All right. That'll be a dirty 20. I have 3.
Yeah. You think you could maybe discern that it's coming from somewhere near that pentagon-shaped room to the south of you.
I'm going to start heading that direction.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
As you follow behind... Wait, who's in the front? For my own...
Raven. Sorry.
Raven. As you follow behind Raven, chasing these sounds of voices thinning out as their prophecy is now complete, the door gives way easily. Thin splinters of wood barely kept held together by ancient pieces of metal wanting so desperately to give way. The door opens wordlessly on old hinges, or silently, I should say, on old hinges, and you enter into a room with the crushed remains of what looks to be a throne.
I'm looking around. I want to see if I can find any remnants of ash or any like ointments, anything used for a ritual, anything that was burned.
You can't find any remnants of a ritual per se. What you do find is a piece of smashed marble, checkered with white and black and gray. And nearby, several small figurines. Some of them cracked, some of them whole.
I want to take a good look at them, see if I can determine what they're meant to represent.
Mm. While Phoba does that, I'm gonna investigate the smashed throne. See if are there bones? Is it just it crumbled away after time?
And Grin's intention will be to the rest of the room, seeing if there's anything valuable that could be lifted.
As you look over this throne, Raven, you see not the marks of a king, but the clear station and marks of what could only have been the archbishop of this place.
Oh. Huh. Is there anything I can pick up, like a ring, or is it just in the shattered throne?
It's in the shattered throne. Engraved within it, you see written in old English, the state and station of the old sort of like head of the church of this region.
Mm.
From your recollection, even having sung in the choir as long as you have, you know that this station has been empty for a long time. And in fact, as you look around the throne, you see countless, truly countless fingernail marks raking down the sides of the stone.
Oh. Can I feel anything from touching these marks?
As you run your hands along the marks, the only thing that comes to your mind is that inflicting gouges so deep would have been agonizing to those that inflicted them.
Oh.
I pull my hand away and it gives me a horrified feeling. We should probably not be here long.
Huh. What the...
It was the Archbishop. This was no king's throne.
I see. But... what is it? The scratches. What does that mean?
Someone in their last moments was in terrible agony. Probably trying to get away from something.
The scratches are on the throne itself?
Mm-hmm.
On the side of it?
Mm-hmm. All around it.
If I'm still looking, my attention was still on the figurines, but I'll let this break. I was observing that, but there's something now based on what Raven just said that pulls my attention to the throne. I'm gonna sit in it, and I'm going to run my hands along the scratches of it, trying to almost as if recreate what someone might have been going through as they were sitting there.
Yeah.
What did they do to you?
I'm going to take this as a power roll. Make a presence check. You need to beat a difficulty rating of 12 in order to have no negative consequences.
Got it. Come on. Ooh, a 9. What can I do? An omen can give me a reroll. But I can do... what if I use the omen to... I can use an omen to subtract 4 from a DR? Is that a difficulty rating?
Yes, you can.
I'll use an omen to do that.
As the rune cracks on your person, imbuing you with the rook's omen, your eyes go into the back of your head. And you feel as though you are not here in the present time, but you have gone to a different place altogether. As this happens, you hear the grinding of bone on granite around you. And you realize, as with your own hat of a holy order placed upon your head, it looks almost shiny again, new, instead of the old battered one you've been wearing. The rest of you see for a moment the scintillating visage of an archbishop sitting on the throne. For truly, this cannot be your friend of just a few moments ago. This looks nothing like Phoba. This does not look like some strange heretical priest who wanders the wilds and walks in his sleep. This is a man of great station, a man responsible for this people who live near and around the small chapel. Phoba, you re-inhabiting the skin of the bishop in this profane ritual you've completed here. Remember how things went astray. Your mind remembers for just a moment what this abbey was like in its glory days, how happy the people here were, and then as the dangers increased, how one by one they left, leaving you only with the dead. But you had a way to bring them back. You promised them that if they stayed with you, you'd never let any harm befall them. They would never die. And you succeeded. You see your former followers come flooding into the room. They look different, though. The color gone from their faces, the light gone from their eyes, dead, dragging shreds of clothes behind them. And then you realize with horror, as they rip you limb from limb, that death is the one thing that is the domain of the damned that you cannot control. And for a promise made that you could not keep, you are devoured by your own hubris.
I imagine I snap out of that if it's done.
Oh, yeah. You do experience the agony of the Archbishop's last moments, however.
You okay?
I fall to the floor and I'm regaining kind of my composure for a moment. I saw for a moment what the bishop did. The bishop is who conjured the dead in this place. I don't know if the people chanting earlier, I don't know who they are. I don't know if we were to come upon them, if we should expect them to be living. I only saw a glimpse of the archbishop being annihilated by the undead that he conjured forth. It was excruciating. And then kind of go quiet for a second.
Phoba, roll a d6.
Ooh. 5.
5. Now roll a d4.
3.
as you you rolled like the worst possible rolls you could have done
Oh,
on this.
no.
Oh no!
Oh no.
All those are
your
good, right?
magic, as you are almost too successful with your reliving of this past atrocity, you hear a as crawling from the catacombs you just stepped through. 3 fleshy, sopping, wet with the dissolution of their own organs, zombies shamble into the room behind you. Roll for initiative.
I'm moving. Oh no.
Well, who's rolling for the group?
Am I rolling for? Oh yes.
Maybe Phoba. Yeah.
Good job, Phoba. Good job.
You did it.
I did something. I'm happy to allow somebody else to roll the d6 if somebody is excited.
No.
Oh no, you did this all to yourself.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
crap. Told you somebody else should have done it.
Oh my gosh.
I just rolled a 1.
Well,
You just rolled a 1?
Oh yeah.
The zombies go first.
Great.
All right.
I have 5.
I have a 7.
I have a 5 as well. I feel like you should go first. I'm still reeling from what just happened. I had a
Okay.
big download just now.
And then... Oh, I actually think Hapment goes before everyone. So it'll be Hapment, and then Grin, and then Raven, and then Phoba. Perfect. But first, the zombies.
You.
Since Phoba... Okay, I'm trying to think. Hapment is closest to the entrance into this chamber. So one of them will attack her. And she needs to beat a agility DR. She has a -1 to of
Yeah.
12.
Oh, wait. -1.
Oof, not good.
Uh-oh. No.
Well, let's see. So, we do have scale armor for negative D4 damage. Which is enough.
Nice.
Although, okay, no, because her armor is only damaged if it's a critical hit or to negate the damage altogether, I believe. So, okay. You see the first zombie shamble forward and lunge at Phoba. Or sorry, not at Phoba, at Hapment. She tries to bring up her mace in time, but is too late, thrown completely off guard by this creature. And it instead lunges and bites at her shoulder. The teeth clang against the metal, and she narrowly avoids the bite. As she kicks it off of her, she warns you all, be careful. They are infectious.
Uh-oh.
The second zombie lunges at Phoba, being the summoner, reminding him of the Pope hat. Or the old Archbishop. The Pope hat is an inevitable draw.
Well,
Take the hat off.
Give
the
me
hat is helping
an
me.
agility roll of
That's
a
true.
DR12.
So while I'm wearing this hat, I become hard to hit, and my defense DR becomes 10.
Perfect.
So agility roll?
Yes. And you just need to beat a 10 since you have that special ability.
A 6.
So,
Two.
seeing this happen,
Yeah.
Grin is going to use an omen to help
wow.
out. If I use an omen to decrease it by 4, meaty beady, right?
Or no?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
Whew.
So
Yeah. Meets
and
it, beats
then
it.
I will use Grin's special ability to see if I spend that or not. Is
Mhm.
when I use an omen. What did we say? One
One is
spends
lose
it.
it, 2 is
Yeah.
keep it.
So it spends it. So I'm out.
Wow.
Your last ruin in your pocket cracks as the hair on the back of your neck rises, Grin, and you instinctually shout out to Phoba to duck.
Duck!
A duck.
Phoba, you pop your archbishop head down and the creature lunges, and instead you see one tooth left embedded in the stone as it then wheels back around on you.
Oh.
The third one is going to attack Grin, since Grin is also standing near the throne. As it attacks you, Grin, give me that DR12 agility check.
Right. And my ability sort of balances that out. So it's just the plus. Go.
Oh. Oh.
A 14?
Yes. You bring up your armored, like,
I have a
forearm
shield,
in
too.
time. Oh, yeah. You bring up your shield and effortlessly smack the head of this creature away, turning it aside. It is now your turn.
Yeah.
The three of them, dead eyes, oozing water, look out at you, vacant expressions, faces twisted in agony. Sorry, wrong song. It is your turn. One of them wheels around on you, recognizing the old archbishop. But Hatman says, "Go back to the grave," and strikes out with her mace. Gonna be a D20. Whoops. +2. Her mace swings wide with a 9, clattering against the old pieces and game board against the ground as she's sort of thrown off balance, still trying to fight the one that tried to bite her, grappling with it. It is your turn, I believe. Wait, what order was it?
I think it's Grin.
Yes.
No,
It's Grin
wait.
next.
Wait, I didn't.
Oh
Oh,
wait,
never mind.
no. It's it's Grin,
Then
Raven,
Raven.
Then
Yeah.
Then,
and then you. Yes, Grin, you're up.
so, not fully knowing what this does, Grin pulls out this bottle that he had found earlier on. It's a metal flask of some sort that determined was a bomb. And he's going to, as he deflects this thing away from him, spin away and activate this thing somehow and chuck it like a grenade on the far side of the zombies.
Yeah. You chuck it on the far side of the zombies. As you do so, let's see. Phoba and Hapment have to give me an agility check.
The duck still applies.
And is the DC of this reduced to 10? It's a blast as opposed to a targeted attack.
Yes, the DC is reduced to 10, especially because Grin says duck
I rolled a
as they
5.
throw it.
I'm getting hit.
Yeah, a 10 from Hapment.
Oh, nice.
Roll a D10.
Okay. 2. Oh, wait, no, it landed on 9.
It landed on 9? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's hitting me
No.
too, though, right?
This is amazing. These zombies only have 7 HP each.
Wow.
The bomb explodes on the other side. The concussive blast absolutely tearing them from like disheveled head to down to mangled body. You see the force of it knock one of its like feet clear off as it is jettisoned off its ankles. Had you successfully ducked, you would have taken none of this damage, but on the failure, you do take half.
Ooh. Is
Rounding
it
down to
rounding
4?
down?
Rounding
up?
down.
Ooh. So I take 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm left with 1.
Hapment is left with 2.
I thought she made. But she didn't have the hat.
Yeah, she didn't have the hat. Well, but she does have scale armor for minus D4 damage. So let's actually give her that because the armor would help her here. Oh. So she only takes 1. Yeah. So the blast is enough to crack the throne you were previously sitting on, Phoba. The blast throws Hapment backwards, game pieces and game table falling head over heels. But as she lands with a tumble on the other side and hits the wall, she gets up with a clatter of metal and seems fine. Just a little worse for the wear.
I am not fine. I am dripping blood. I probably have like a piece of the marble of the throne probably in my leg or something, but I am barely hanging on. Maybe we should go back to the hunt.
Or just up near the gargoyle. We could rest.
Right. Kind of like in a daze, just kind of nods as I struggle to get up.
Grin will look over to Raven.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you could do for him? I'm sorry.
That's a good question. I don't think I can.
Is there like a mundane bandaging that would help at all? In the system, Bronze?
Yes, let me look.
Yes, because I
So
do not
you
have
can-
any of that.
You can rest. And as far as mundane bandages go, dun, 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 let me see here.
Yeah, I don't think I'm a Disney princess kind of bard.
I feel better now.
Right? You get 10 HP back.
Equipment.
Or wouldn't the donkey have something?
Oh yeah, we
You
could
do-
going back up.
Yeah, the pack mule.
Yeah, there is like a medicine box and some sort of like rough field medic type of stuff you can do. I think the only one amongst you who it would make sense for them to be able to know how to do it is Hapment, since this is kind of their bag. Yeah, she can try. We'll say that. This would be more effective with a proper field medic kit that can help restore 1d6 health. In this case, because she's making do with what little bits and bobs you have on you, it's closer to a d4. She nervously looks at your cuts and scrapes and tries her best to set about putting you back together.
Oh.
She manages to stop the bleeding in your leg, restoring 1 more hit point to you as she does so.
Anything is better than what state I was in.
Yeah.
I'm just like kind of out of it still. And remembering that kind of ritual and the kind of purpose, the drive that Archbishop had to. The thing that stands out to me was that it was fueled with, and I start to sort of speak this out loud, that that ritual was so selfish. He just was trying to hold on to his flock at whatever cost, and they turned on him. That kind of arrogance deserves to be punished. And Then he just kind of falls quiet.
Grin will help Phoba stand because Hatmet has been sort of tending to the wounds, and we'll start to make our way back out and up towards where we can rest. And as he does, he'll say to Phoba, "Should not suffer punishments of others. Not you, it was someone else. But sorry you were hurt in the process."
Could be. Thank you. You got us out of there, and you have my gratitude for that.
Expected.
Yes, luckily.
Assuming we get back up and outside with no incident, I will let Phoba rest his head on my lap while he's tended to. Because I can't heal, but I can try to make you feel better with a song.
Oh.
But it's the old songs.
Ooh.
As you comfort Phoba, and Hapment hastily tends his wounds, you hear footsteps coming up the stairs towards you.
I ready my spade and knife, and I go and stand guard.
As you stand guard, you see the familiar page boy haircut of Oath.
It's you.
Well, that's been very interesting to see. Maybe. I don't know.
Oath isn't coming from the church.
They are.
Oh, they are.
Oh.
Well, you have made a downright mess. Look at this. Bones everywhere. The sacred dead, scattered like autumn leaves.
Better than them being in one piece like autumn zombies.
And who is responsible for that, I wonder?
What are you doing down there?
I should ask what you're doing up here. They move past you, Grin, almost like with a confidence that alarms you, not even making note of your two daggers as they walk up the steps past you.
No one would know.
I mean, their back is to you.
Yeah. See what they say.
They look over at Hapman almost with pity as she is like tending to Phoba's wounds. Pathetic.
Miscalculation, yes.
No, I mean this using rags. If you have the faith of the divine in your heart, you can easily knit flesh back together. This is a small task.
So you say.
I don't believe you.
Just out of instinct and out of desperation, and still sort of flashing back to that archbishop and what he conjured, I close my eyes and I just utter this old chant that I remember a long time ago my grandmother reciting. And just repeat it on a loop, trying to find a new way to trust in the old ways.
As you say this, as you say these words repeatedly, finding comfort in them, Oath's face twists almost into disgust.
What?
Heresy.
Well, you didn't help.
I don't help witches.
Oh, really?
I thought you at least were pious.
Is that we're all taking liberties.
Bringing the dead back to life. Do you know how long this chapel took to cleanse?
No.
He did not. That occurred in the
Are you saying that it was me? I resurrected or animated those corpses, that they were not already there?
Yes, witch. Your
Aye.
heresy has ramifications. It's probably why you're in exile.
Well, what about yours? You're down there conducting some sort of a chant, some sort of ritual?
As mine was well within the ordained texts of the people, though.
Doesn't seem like the town recognizes it as such, as you are exiled just as much as I.
And it seems just as likely that you would have sent them after us.
I was. Who are you people to question me?
Not the ones committing profane acts, was it?
You don't know the scale of what I'm trying to conduct here.
Oh, we have an idea.
You want to cleanse this land? And I will, in a very weakened way, gesture up to the gargoyle. And was this your doing as well? To conjure this stoned guardian?
No. I simply bound it to me.
Not very well. Seems it is not as bound as you think.
It carried out my bidding to prevent interlopers from coming into this place. It's hallowed ground now, you see. We've sanctified it. She gestures to the barrels of tar. I should dip you by your ankles into a tar barrel, witch.
No. You don't touch him.
Raven. Why do you fall in with devil worshippers and corpse
Devils.
thieves?
Devil worshippers, who would that be?
That is an accusation meant to be aimed at me.
And grave robber, who's that for?
I just give Grin a look like, okay, look, I'll give them that one.
What an accusation.
And while Oath is throwing these words at us, I start singing one of the songs of the church.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's like, I've not forgotten those ways. And does the word not tell us that we should have kindness and humility in our hearts?
Give me a presence roll.
Okay.
Damn.
No. I'm going, no, I'm using an omen.
Yes,
Absolutely
yes.
not. Absolutely not. I'm using an omen.
You just completely
Fair.
bomb the song.
Fair.
You're like,
No,
Get
I've
the
got an
words
omen.
wrong.
I've got an omen left. So I'm using that for reroll.
Oh, is there something special for a critical failure? No crit or fumble. What does that mean?
That means
It doesn't have the effect.
negate. Yeah, you can negate a fumble.
So now I have a 13.
13. Okay. So as you sing this song and point out to Oath some of their own hypocrisy. They almost get angry at some of your words. Roll 2d6 for me as we do a morale check.
Ooh, and if it's morale, I can add a d6.
Okay, so
Ooh.
3d6.
I will say
You
Grin
need to
tries
beat a 7.
to join in, but doesn't know the words, so he's just sort of mumbling along.
Oh, Grin.
Oh, yeah, you just need to beat a 7.
Oh my.
Are you serious?
Oh
But I only missed by 1.
no! Yeah.
Yeah, you missed by 1. Yeah.
Well, and I used my last. I only had 2
Yeah.
omens, so.
You don't fail so much as you touch a nerve.
Mm.
You see Oath for the first time, that facade of not really caring about anything and kind of being lackadaisical about stuff kind of cracks.
Mm.
But not to just,
Mm.
he's a witch.
And
How can you say the holy words and stand here and say that, and then with that creature's head in your lap, and you treat with a murderer? And at that, she points at Hapmint. This one's holding human bones in his hands, and you're telling me that
Look at-
that
Yes,
I am
you.
a hypocrite?
Yes,
Yes.
you are a hypocrite. You
And
are.
I don't know if it's human.
You are foul people.
Look at you.
and you were. Mm.
You adorn yourselves in the unanswered prayers of your fallen comrades. You take their final wishes and you desecrate them. You burn them. You spit on them, and you call yourself a devout follower of the holy ways. You take
When
the
you-
memories of your friends and you crush them into nothing.
When you say this, you hear her almost growl at you. Oh, sorry. Yes, thank you. You hear them almost growl at you. It is you I will crush into ribbons! And they leap at you, ripping you up from Raven's lap, kicking Hapmint out of the way, lifting you up off the ground, their eyes alight with golden power, their teeth bared, almost like a righteous white wolf drawn up in its glory. It seeks to rip the throat out of that which stands before it to keep it from the sheep. And that is where we will end this episode of Mörk Bronze.
No!
What a twist!
Well,
Wow.
Thank you for joining us. When you see us next, you will see us for our last episode
Oh.
of Mörk Bronze for a stunning conclusion. Thank you so much for the wonderful people at Roll for sponsoring us. And thank you so much to our wonderful players for joining us. We'll see you next time.